We also found another little interesting piece of tech. If you look at my spammer build, my Warhammer spear build, which is also known as a Rendbot, you'll see something a little interesting about my hammer. You'll see that I've got, this is not interesting, I've got two perks, 2 skill slots on there. Sundering Shockwave and Sundering Path of Destiny. So big rend right there, 36% rend. Then you'll notice I've got Sundering Stacks, and this throws a lot of people off. They're like, why would you have Sundering Stacks on here? You shouldn't be, you know, light attacking or heavy attacking with the Warhammer. What is, that seems stupid, Slim. And Disdained Infliction, what the hell, Slim? That's so stupid, what's wrong with you? Well, guess what? Sundering Stacks is applied whenever you use an ability. And you're using 3 abilities on Warhammer for big rend. You're throwing down Shockwave, Path of Destiny, and you're hitting the enemies with Armor Breaker. Those 3 attacks, because they are attacks, they apply Sundering Stacks. So when you hit with all 3 of those, not only are you applying the rend from each ability, you're also applying 3 stacks of Sundering Stacks for an extra 12% rend. Not only are you doing that when you apply those, when you do those attacks, you're also applying Disdained Infliction. And guess what? You got a lot of dots with the spear. You've got, I'm running double Enfeebling Skewer on mine, so I'm applying a dot with Skewer. I'm also applying a dot with Bleeding Sweep, because I've got Bleeding Sweep. In fact, I've got 2, no, I've got 1 Bleeding Sweep. I thought I had 2 on this one. I have 1 Bleeding Sweep. So that's a dot from Skewer, that's a dot from Bleeding Sweep, and I don't think I have Keenly Jagged. I shouldn't have it. So anyway, I've got 2 dots right there that I'm applying Bleed to the enemy for, and Disdain, and then those dots, whenever I hit a Path of Destiny, a Shockwave, or anything with the Warhammer, I'm increasing the potency of those dots using Warhammer. And I don't have to light attack, I don't have to heavy attack or anything with the Warhammer. I can immediately drop my abilities with Warhammer and then switch over to Spear, where I've got Into and Trenchant Rend. So whenever I do the coup de grace on Spear, that counts as a not only a bleed that I apply to the enemy, but also coup de grace counts as a heavy attack, which applies Rend from Trenchant Rend. That's an extra 20% Rend right there, plus the 30% from Perforate. So what is that? 50% rend from just the spear, plus 16, so 66, plus 20, so 86, plus 12, so 98, and then what does Armor Breaker do? 98 plus what? Where is Warhammer? 98 plus 30, so 128% rend, boys. That build, that Rendbot build, that spammer build, applies 128% rend to the enemy. Just me. Just your boy Slim. That's not even including my vines. If I drop vines in a fight and all of my abilities, I'm doing 148% rend, my dudes. Rend cap. We're 2% off of rend cap. Let's say I do a light attack. I could be max rend cap, right? Isn't it 150? Or is it 200%? I don't know. Whatever. Let's say it's 150 to make my argument sound even better. If I hit with a light attack on the hammer, that's 16%, and that puts us over rend cap. Oh, the no jump slot in the AMI? No. Look at the AMI. Did I even show you the AMI? Look at this AMI. This AMI is for wait, is it? Yeah, this AMI is for Isle of Night. Look at this AMI. Look at this AMI, dude. Double offensive / strike arcane. Name a better Isle of Night raid amulet. I'll wait. It's pretty baller. One with a jump slot? What would you drop? One of the offensive perks? I don't think so, dude. I'd rather have 3% more damage than 4% more protection. Because remember, that's all a gem slot gives you is 4% extra protection or 1% extra damage if you've got if you're using a carnelian. Because didn't we just have that talk where we were asking, should I put a carnelian in my shit? And what does a carnelian give you? What does a carnelian give you? Less aggro and what? 2% more damage to taunted foes. Well, guess what? I'm getting 3% more damage, baby. 3% from vicious or 3.6 from rogue. And you're doing a lot of roguing in Isle of Night. Just roguing your little balls off. So I don't know. I'm kind of okay with no gem slot in that regard.